Another rant. Today I'm going to talk about your mind. I've heard it said over and over again that you only use 10% of your mind, that you can only use 10% of your brain. They've even made movies about it. Imagine what would happen if we could use 100% of our brain. And they have movies like Limitless, etc., that show you the possibilities. That's not exactly true. The truth is, you're only consciously aware of 10% of your brain, but you use all 100% of your brain all the time. Well, the 10% that you're conscious of goes to sleep when you go to sleep, but the other 90% goes hog wild while you sleep. Your subconscious mind is extremely powerful. Think of it as a huge supercomputer that records everything you say, see, hear, touch, smell, taste. All of that is recorded in there, everything. And everything you do, your eyes, your mouth, your ears, your nose, your fingers, your body, are the keyboard and mouse to this giant computer. And everything you do gets stored in there, gets programmed in there. The problem is that your subconscious brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. So you can tell the subconscious brain anything you want, and if you tell it enough, it'll believe it. So that's why you never want to make negative affirmations about yourself. You never want to say, oh, I'm retarded. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I can't do anything. You know, I never do anything right. I'm just a failure. I'm just a loser, blah, blah. You don't want to say those kinds of things to yourself because your subconscious brain hears that and remembers it. Consciously, you're thinking to yourself, oh, come on. I don't really believe that. But your subconscious brain doesn't know the difference. So you automatically default to whatever you've programmed in your subconscious brain. If you continually say you're a retard, if you continually say you can't do anything, if you continually say nothing ever works for you, that your life sucks, blah, 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 then guess what? That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what your life is going to be like. The beauty of your brain, your subconscious brain, not knowing the difference between fantasy and reality is that you can turn that around, right? All that negative stuff you put in there all the time, garbage in, garbage out. If you put a bad program full of bugs in a computer, the computer's not going to run right. The programs aren't going to work. It's not going to do what you want it to do. You have to program your subconscious with positive affirmations. You don't want to say you don't want a positive affirmation like, I'm not going to be stupid anymore. Because what are you telling yourself? You're telling yourself that you're stupid. You're going to say, I'm smart. I'm thin. I'm healthy. I'm in good shape. I'm happy. I'm loved. I am liked. I am a good student. I am a good worker. I am a smart person. I can do anything I want to do. The sky's the limit. I'm capable of anything. Money comes easily to me. And it's real simple, even though you consciously are aware of the fact that those things may not be true. Your subconscious brain doesn't know the difference, and positive affirmations are much more powerful than negative affirmations. So if you write out a list of positive affirmations and then go and stand in front of the mirror twice a day, once in the morning and once before you go to bed, and say, effing white male, you are loved. I love you. You're smart. You're handsome. You're strong. You're healthy. You're powerful. You can do anything you want to do. Eventually, within 30 to 90 days, things will start to turn around for you because you start to think properly. And I can prove my point. Let's say you're talking to a friend about a movie and you're telling them about you just went to go see the new Footloose movie and you're saying, it's okay, but I like the original one better. The original one with that guy. What's his name? I can't think of it. Oh well, no big deal. Just trust me. The old Footloose is better than the new one. And then you start talking about something else. You consciously move the conversation to football and what you're going to do on the weekend and your trip to Maui last summer and blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, an hour later, 3 days later maybe, all of a sudden, bam, you go, Kevin Bacon. That's right. The guy in that first Footloose movie, that was Kevin Bacon. See, you forgot all about it. Your conscious brain hasn't been thinking about it for the last 30 minutes or 3 hours or whatever it is. But when you pose the question, who was the star of the first Footloose movie, even after you gave up on it because you couldn't think of it, your subconscious brain was still working 1,000 miles an hour trying to find the answer to that question. And so when you put in positive affirmations and you put in positive stuff into your brain starts to think differently because it has different things to work with. It has positive things to work with instead of negative things to work with. You can totally change your life by reprogramming your subconscious mind. Another problem with this is, though, that the elites, the power that be, the globalists, the guys who want to control the world, have been at it for a long, long time. They've been working on how to brainwash you and how to change your mind, to control your mind, to get you to think the way they want you to think through the mainstream media and subliminal advertising, subliminal messages in all the things they do. I've gotten to the point where I can hardly watch any mainstream media, movies, TV, music, whatever, because it's got so much of this subliminal crap in it that it's at war with my mind, and I can't stand it. I can't stand to watch it. I mean, think about any movie about the future that you've ever seen that doesn't automatically assume we have a one world government. Think hard. They've given us two scenarios to play with. In the future, we are either going to be a one world socialistic utopian society like Star Trek, or we're going to be a post-apocalyptic totalitarian society like Terminator or any other of 100 movies. And those are the only two scenarios. So we either have to conform and become a one world government and become socialistic in order for us to develop this utopian society, or it's going to be devastated by nuclear war or pollution or zombies or something to that effect. I'm here to tell you that that's crap. That's a lie. That Marxism doesn't work. Ask Venezuela. They're down there eating the freaking zoo animals. Everywhere that they have put socialism, Marxism, communism in as the regime, they sucker people in by telling them that it's for the people, that it's for the working person, that everybody's going to be equal, that society is going to create this utopian existence. And it ends up being a totalitarian existence, and it ends up failing every time. There's not been a successful socialistic, communist, Marxist regime yet. They've all failed. All of them. And they're using up our terms like democratic and republican and whatever. And it's not. They're not at all. Every single time, if you take away the power of the people and give it to the elites, give it to the government is not your friend. People are not inherently good. People are inherently selfish and evil. There's a phrase, absolute power corrupts absolutely. One of my greatest quotes that Ronald Reagan said was, "You know you're screwed when you hear this phrase, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." The government doesn't want to help you. The government is not your friend. The politicians are puppets of the corporations. They promise them wealth and fame if they will toe the line. They'll donate millions and millions of dollars into getting them elected so they can be in power. And then they give them a piece of the pie every time as long as they vote for their crap. And then they give us poison in our food, poison in our water, fluoride, etc., MSG, HPSD, BPAs, hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, GMOs. I honestly did not realize how bad GMOs were. They're actually taking animal DNA and mixing it with the DNA of plants. You have no idea what that can do or will do or should do. You realize GMOs are outlawed in Europe. You can't even get them because there are no studies to say, and yet in America, 70 to 90% of all the food you buy that's prepackaged is GMO. It's scary. It's scary to think about. The BPAs mimic estrogen. So that's trying to do the population control. The whole point, is with sports and music gives you hope. Maybe you can join the elites through being a politician or being a musician or being an actor or being a sports person, a football player, basketball player, baseball player, whatever. Just like the Hunger Games. Okay? He said hope is powerful. They give you a little bit of hope to keep you going and keep you in line. They give you the sports and the entertainment and all this other stuff to keep your subconscious brain occupied on other things and not paying attention to what's going on in our government. Government in America is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Which means that every single one of us has a responsibility to know the Constitution and to know what our rights are and to know what's going on in politics and to be paying attention. That's my whole rant for today. More to come. God bless.